So 3-2 defeat today at home to Dunston. How do you reflect on that as a manager?
Very poor performance, I think. You know, yeah, we didn't play very well, but you're still going in at half time 1-1. You know, we tried a little bit of something different. We played 2 up top today. We went 1-0 up. But again, they scored a goal. Just a lack of marking from Rom. Ball goes into the box. He's unmarked. Tap in on the goal line. So you know, there's a few harsh words been said in there today. Second half we went back to type. We could see 2 goals again. I think how many shots have they had on target? 3. 3's gone in. It's just not good enough from a team perspective, from individual performances, and that's something that now I have to address. For the first time I've been here at this football club, I think it's now showing that you try and give everybody an opportunity. And it's showing now a little bit in terms of the quality on the pitch. We have got quality. We have won games this year. We're playing all right, but today, all of them things cumulative. Yeah, we just wasn't at the races from 1 to 11, and even the subs that come on. To be fair to Jermaine Hollis, come on, did very well, scored. Thought he gave us a little bit of drive in the midfield. Apart from that, probably, Cam probably should have scored 2 goals. It's lack of impact from the bench, but it's them moments which we've been saying for probably now 3 or 4 weeks. Against decent sides, you get punished, and I don't think they've really created a lot today. They battled. The quality was good up top. They were a decent side. I thought the left-sided player was very good today for them. And on them fine moments, you have to be better. And also when you've got time on the ball, we've got to be brave enough to get on the ball and make some passes. The movement's got to get better. The fitness has got to get better. So yeah, difficult to sum up, but obviously we're disappointed. It's not how we want to play. It's not about what this football club's about, what we have been for the last 3 years. So yeah, it's a tough one to take today.
Yeah, I mean, it's not often that we've been defeated now 2 back-to-back like that in the league. And of course, you mentioned that. Yeah, do you think we're just lacking, at the top of the pitch and at back today?
I think all through the side. Yeah. When we've actually got the ball back, there's been passes. It's just been shoveled forward. Easy for the goalkeeper then to defend. Long balls, just throwing it forward, hoping something happens. And that's a lack. That's just down to confidence, I suppose. Yes, we've been back to back at home now, defeats. They're not used to that. It's difficult for them to react. Like I said, I've got some young players out there as well. They're going to make mistakes. I can take that from them. But the lads that's now got experience, that, to be fair, performance-wise today were not great, and that's not acceptable. And they've got to look at themselves in the mirror now. We've got to go back to the drawing board in terms of personnel. We've got a big squad. I've apologised to some of the lads on the bench today, because some of the lads can't even get in the squad. So that's something that I'm going to have to address. But I think we just didn't play very well today from 1 to 11. It kind of looked lax. We've gone 1 goal up, and then we looked like the intensity dropped. And that's down to the players on the pitch. I can't help them with that. They're on the pitch, they're doing it, they're driving themselves, each other, and they have to drive their own standards. And today they didn't do that.
And you said, you made a change at the start, playing 2 up top. Do you think that led to the goal? Do you think it was just more, a great set piece?
To be honest with you, I didn't think the ball was great coming in, to be honest with you. Bradders has done well to kind of got a flick on, and Hutch, instinct, experience, just in the right place at the right time. And I thought Hutch played well today, held the ball up. There was constant fouls being committed on him, but that shows that he's doing his job. And he was in the right place and scored a goal. And you're expecting the rest of the side, from 1 to kind of Bradders, Rom, Luke, Sam, to defend, and they just looked sharper at the top end of the pitch than we did, and that causes problems. And midfield wise, like I said, we've gone at the break up 1-1, and for the first time it looked like they was the fitter side than we was. Maybe that's accumulated with a lot of games that we played. It's the same for everybody. That's football at this level. You're going to play a lot of games. So yeah, it's hard to kind of sum up. Obviously, massive disappointment. You're leading the game 1-0 to lose the game 3-2. And have 3 shots against you and go in, it's very hard to take.
Last match you brought off Alex and Tom Marshall in around the 52nd minute. This time you took them off at half time. Is that going to lead to some changes, do you think, next Saturday?
Yeah, as harsh as it is, yeah. I've got to pick a side now that's going to go out and give me what I want. And certain players at the moment, whether it's fitness, whether it's a personal choice mentally, whether they're carrying a few knocks and they're not telling me, that honesty's got to get better. You know, we spoke about our discipline. I looked at our fines from last month. You know, we've got to be better disciplined. I thought there was today. I thought, you know, they tried to do that, but you've got to play the game hard. And at the moment, you know, not just Tom and Alex, there's other players in that team at the moment that are struggling to get around the pitch, and that's not me digging anybody out. It's maybe because they're tired. They played a lot of minutes. I don't know. But Tuesday we're going to go back to the drawing board in training. I'll assess the squad, and I'll just basically judge it from what I see now from players that are giving me that intensity that I want, and that's the main requirement moving forward.
You know, we was missing a few players today. Danny Gordon out of the squad. He played Tuesday, but not available again today. Was he injured or?
Yeah, Danny's injured. Obviously, Jamie's missing. The two players that do give me that. So yeah, they're big misses for us. It's tough when you lose kind of players like that. You need them in the side. But like I said, I trust them all. It's not like I don't. They'll people that come in, I trust them. You know, today a lot of players have had an off day, and yet we still scored 2 goals. But defensively, we've got to tighten up. That's a fact. The amount of goals we're conceding, not through chances created or under pressure, it's for our own doing. You know, set pieces, corner, mark your man, keeper come out and punch it, catch it, whatever you want to do. Second one's gone in the middle of the goal. Just a lack of intensity pressing the ball. You know, these are all things that can be better, and that's what they usually do very well. They don't give people time on the ball. I'm going to put it down to a bad day at the office, but there is definitely on my part now as a manager, I have to make some tough decisions, and moving forward in terms of the personnel, and also, you know, the way that people conduct themselves now. We've got to get better at doing that, get back to what we used to do. I think that's important. I've said to them in there, don't lose sight of the fact, you know, you've done remarkably well as a squad over the past 2.5 years to this point. But today, I think it's been, you know, we've had off the back of now 3 defeats, albeit, you know, a couple of extra time and penalties, whatever. But, you know, Worksop probably deserved to get some out of the game, but today we didn't deserve absolutely anything. They was the better side, they wanted it more than us, and fair play to them, credit to them.
Yeah, and it's concert of the weekend. Do you know much about them?
No, again, the beauty of it is this league, you're playing again, and that's probably the hardest thing for me to take, because you know you have to be at it, because you don't know much about the teams you're playing against, especially from further up north. You know, we'll do a research, we'll kind of get a gauge on how they're going to play, put it on the board today, but they have to go out and execute what they're going to do, and be braver on the pitch, and I think that's the fundamental bottom line. So yeah, obviously, you know, these have got to pick themselves up now, got to get some points on the board, got to get a rocking and rolling like we used to do, and I'm sure they will, you know, but it's my job now to pick the side based on what I see, and it's, yeah, there's some tough decisions I've got to make.
We've got some tough Tuesday fixtures coming up later in this month. Is it now important for you to, you know, get a good strong one at home to move into them fixtures?
Yeah, like I said, every game's tough, you know, and sometimes it's a bit of an unknown. You know, you don't know kind of the formations or personnel that, you know, coming from Newcastle, but you know it's going to be a tough game. This is the level of football they're now playing at, and that's what I've just said to them in there. You know, you have to understand that. Last year, no disrespect to the league, you know, we had some good teams in it, but sometimes you knew when you was going into a game, you could play at 60–70% and get through it. I'm not stupid. I've been there myself. You know, you play against a team and you've got a strong team and you fly in, you expect to go and win the game and do it quite comfortably. This year, that's not the case. You have to be at it every time you step onto the pitch. Every time you put your boots on in training, you have to show me why you should be in the side. And I'm going to have to, like I said, I'm going to have to pick that based on what I see now. So yeah, it's like I said, we're all disappointed in there. The lads, it's not through the want to try, and they don't go out there on purpose to play bad. Today we've just had, you can sometimes get away with it with 2 or 3 players, you can't with 7, 8, 9 players doing the same thing, just having off days, and we got punished today, like I said, by the better side.